Do I have to pay $50,000 over list price? That is a question I am hearing every single day. And sometimes it's $5,000, sometimes it's $10,000, sometimes $100,000. It just depends on the price point and where the borrower's looking, where I'm hearing these questions. And there's a couple reasons that's going on right now. And the biggest thing to talk about is marketing. You guys are being sold a story. Okay, now are there houses that are going over appraised value? Yes, there's lots of them. But are there houses where you don't have to pay over appraised value? Yes, there's lots of those as well. Are there some houses where the appraisal's coming in higher than the purchase price? Yes, there are some of those as well. But what's not fun for the media to sell us is appraisals are coming in at value, or, you know, appraisals are coming in low and sellers are dropping prices. They don't want to sell you that. What's being sold to us right now is that there's no houses. There's no houses. Everybody, you better be rich to buy a house. This is the whole like 1%ers versus everyone else story that our media has been stitching, you know, for years. Okay. And I think it's really important that if you guys want to get a house right now, you need to step away from the propaganda. Okay. And look, is there truth to it? That there are many markets where people are bringing in over asking? Yes, of course. But there's also another side to that story. So we're going to talk about that other side today. So another thing to note is that beyond your mainstream media, you have realtors and you also have lenders who are on social media who are feeding into, oh my God, I can't get my buyer's offer. They have a loan. Boo-hoo. You know, there was one that actually enraged me on TikTok. It was like, there's all these trending music things, and the realtor was basically like, me with the cash buyer. Me with the borrower that needs a loan. And I was like, wow, your sales skills are great. Like, you can only sell houses to cash buyers. It was just ridiculous, and it's not true, and it's perpetuating that myth of haves versus have-nots, and it's just ridiculous, you know. And so also from the social media front, if someone says a house went $200,000 over asking, that gets a lot of comments, it gets a lot of discussion, and that's what feeds the beast. Right? And that's what we're talking about. You know, there was a story recently that went national about a house in California that had 121 offers. Oh my goodness. If you read that story, you would assume every house in California has 121 offers. It doesn't. It doesn't. Is it still very competitive? Yes. Yes, sure. 2, 3, 6, 9, 20, sure. 121 on all? No. No. And I'm not really seeing, like, those are usually, when you see something like that, it's because it was severely underlisted. And we'll see agents do that because they're trying to create a frenzy, right? So they'll severely underlist it, and then they'll say, I won't review offers for 10 days. And then what they do is when the other agent calls and says, hey, do you have any offers? They go, oh, we don't have any yet. Even if it's not true, they don't have to tell you how many offers they have or don't have. So then people put in an offer, and then they get all these offers, and then they can come back and counter highest and best, et cetera, et cetera. But that's not, 121 is not the norm. So I think it's important for me to say that to you guys, because I recently had a conversation with a borrower who's looking in Austin, Texas. Now, Austin, Texas is, I would argue, one of the most competitive markets in the country. For anyone new to this channel, I'm licensed in 46 states, and I do, you know, a significant amount of business. So I have my finger, you know, pretty much everywhere. And Austin is crazy. So what you have is you have tech moving in, and with tech, there always comes money. We saw that in the Bay Area with prices, and we're seeing it in Austin, Texas right now. So the borrower I was talking to is actually very well qualified, but they were despondent. They'd been looking for 2 months. They're like, we're never gonna find anything. Everything we like has so many offers, and our realtor's not even getting back to us because we can't pay over, you know, we don't have $50,000 over appraised amount to write into our offer. Because that's what the realtor wanted. The realtor basically wanted them to write an offer that said, borrower will pay up to $50,000 over appraised value. I I would never put that in an offer in a billion years, because an appraiser is gonna look at that and be like, oh, okay, the agents think that clearly this is listed 50K too high. But either way, they thought they didn't have a chance. They were going to sign another year lease because of this experience, this frenzy. So we talked about two different things. First of all, what type of houses are you looking at? Well, guess what? They were all turnkey, Instagram-ready houses. And the thing with any of these houses that are perfect, I'm talking perfect, like you walk in and you're like, okay, it's been staged, which means a professional interior decorator has gone into the house to try to make the house look the best possible. Of course, that's going to create a frenzy. If everything's done, add on the other layer, because most people can't visualize outside of what it is, right? So like I can't ever visualize. So if I walk into a house and it has all dark, paint, and the kitchen looks a little ratty, I'm like, ugh. But I've worked with enough of those stagers and interior decorators to change my mindset. So if I'm looking at property, if I'm looking for the ugliest houses on the market, I'm like, ooh, which one has bad pictures? Which one was the realtor too lazy to get out of the car? Totally saying that one. Which ones are the ones where it looks really dark? Yeah, really dark. I want to go see that one. Okay. And the reason is people all flock to the houses that look light, bright, and airy. Well, guess what? Half the times it has filters, and the other time all they're doing is painting the walls white. Seriously, that's the trick. Paint the walls white, paint the cabinets white, put in new light fixtures. That's what people do to make houses sell faster. That is what the interior designers do 9 out of 10 times. They'll go paint everything this white, and then we're going to replace the fixtures and put in really nice furniture. Suddenly a house that was unsaleable is going for $30,000 over ask. Okay, so if you don't want to be in a bidding frenzy, stay away from the Instagram homes, or the Pinterest homes as I call them. Look for the houses where you see the pictures and you're like, ooh, like if the square footage is right, if the bedroom count is right, if it's in the area that you like, go see it. Do not discount a house because of the pictures. And in this case, these people had been discounting houses because of pictures. The second problem they had was the realtor. And the realtor was just super negative and basically had the mindset that unless you had all this money, you weren't going to get a house. And that is what they were selling to the client. I don't think they were doing it maliciously. I think a lot of people don't do enough business to really understand how the market works and what is realistic and what's not. It's super easy to get an offer accepted when you basically are lighting your client's money on fire and giving it to the seller. Like, who doesn't want a ridiculous offer, right? That just gives them money. I would love one. That sounds great. But in this case, that realtor really wasn't working for the buyer. They were just lazy. So switched him to a new realtor. Yeah, switched him to a new realtor. Guess what? 3 days later, they're in contract on a house that they love. 3 days. One of the hottest markets in the country. And no, they didn't offer over list price. Guess what? It didn't photograph well. Guess what? They had a realtor who was smart and savvy enough to know the market. Guess what? They also had a realtor who's pleasant to deal with and knows how to work with other agents and knows how to approach them and knows how to pitch their borrowers. It's so important. It's so important. So I really can't stress that enough. Another thing to keep in mind on the realtor piece is that you want to be working with someone that has your best interest at heart. If someone's telling you you have no chance unless you're cash or you're going to give up your wallet, do not take that as, the end all and be all. Get a second opinion. If your lender recommended you to that realtor, get another referral. Wherever you're getting to your realtor, never take that opinion as the end all and be all, because sitting in this chair, I can tell you it's not. One more story. I know this is going long. Well, you know what? We'll do that story tomorrow, okay? So we're gonna follow up with, maybe we'll just do a whole week of like, no, you don't have to pay over list price. I think we will. Thanks for watching.